So Disney is next. And also Francis Ford Coppola. Never thought Francis Ford Coppola would have anything to do with The Den. I mean, not that it's like super surprising because he's just another bro, honestly. So Victor Salva made a film called Clownhouse, and before that, he abused a 12-year-old. And so apparently Victor Salva had a thing for monsters. He had sympathy for monsters. He, I guess, was quoted a bunch of times saying that he, felt the most interesting character in a film was the monster. And he wanted to know what they were thinking and feeling, probably because he's a monster himself. And so I want to show this Clownhouse trailer. No.
The clowns, Randy, they're here.
I'm pretty sure that's the victim, by the way. That's the young boy. That's the victim. Oh my God, this clown hand. What is with these convicted PDF files with clowns? What is this?
You never know what they really are.
You never know what they really are. This music.
The circus can be the main event for many a young boy. But for Casey, all this clowning around is about to come to an end. Clownhouse, now available on video
my God, that thing
cassette.
is terrifying, though. Let's maybe listen first to what the survivor has to say about his experience with Victor Salva and Francis Ford Coppola, and how Francis Ford Coppola enabled Victor Salva and protected him.
Now, tell me something. Take us through the steps of how Victor Salva was held accountable for you as a child.
Let's see. It was when he was arrested, it was a sting operation, first of all. And so after we finished up principal photography for Clownhouse, because of the cameras we used were literally the ones that George Lucas used for American Graffiti. It was basically a month of shooting and then a month of overdubs. And it was right in between, like right in the first couple days of doing the overdubs that the police did the sting operation away from his house. And then, they found, like pretty much a den, just videotapes upon videotapes and photo albums full of like boys modeling for, Macy's or Sears, plus pictures of countless little boys, and all sorts of just really, really disgusting stuff was found, and Victor admitted to all of it. He admitted to all of it until there was an attorney involved. And
just like Brian Peck also recorded, admitted to it.
Coppola is where the attorney came in. Like that's where the money came from for the attorney, for Victor's attorney was. So Coppola gets him this really, expensive lawyer, and then it turns into where he, because the police already had on file.
Francis Ford Coppola hired a good lawyer for a PDF file. Someone who admitted they were a PDF file. Can you believe this? I want this to be shared. Francis Ford Coppola defended publicly a PDF file, quoted Los Angeles Times, quoted protecting a PDF file, financially rewarded this person who was convicted, stood behind him for many, many years. This is Hollywood in a nutshell. And then everyone's like, oh, Francis Ford Coppola, what a genius. A genius? What genius protects and supports a PDF file? So Coppola, about the case, you have to remember, while this was a tragedy, that the difference in age between Victor and the boy was very small. Victor was practically a child himself. This is what Francis Ford Coppola said. And Salva was 29 years old and the boy was 12. I'm going to repeat it again. The age difference between Victor and the boy was very small. I'm sorry, what's small about 12 and 29 years old? That doesn't sound like a genius to me. Does it? I'm sorry. All right, let's continue.
On record, him admitting to all these things, because he was arrested on 11 counts of child, including oral on a child under 14, a child under 14, videotaping these things. Like, I mean, and then, several charges that had to do with the production of Clownhouse and being during that production. So he, of course, retracts everything, and the lawyers get him to shut his mouth and, stop making their jobs harder. And eventually what happened was, at some point, Coppola filed a lawsuit against my family for $5 million for some brief.
Francis Ford. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm really losing it today. I think it's been like a lot of weeks for me dealing with these predators, or years. Francis Ford Coppola sued the victim's family for $5 million. I'm sorry. What? And he just walks around Hollywood because he belongs. He's guys like us, They're all the same. You got the predators, you got the people protecting them. And then it's almost questionable why they're protecting them, but that's another story. But you got the enablers, you got the financial reward, and you got the predators.
Contract or something. And my lawyer called my parents one day and said, the appointment we had with Victor's attorneys it's been rescheduled. It's been pushed till tomorrow. So you guys don't need to come in today. And so we stayed home, and my attorney actually went down and met with Victor's lawyers and wrote up a plea bargain and had it signed. And the plea bargain dropped the 6 most severe charges, the ones that had to do with the production of Clownhouse, and he was convicted on the 5 least severe charges, or signed a plea bargain of that, and was sentenced 3 years. And he was in jail for a short time when he was first arrested, but after that, he didn't go to prison. He never saw another jail cell. He
spent 15 months out of a 3-year sentence, thanks to Coppola. And you know what, Coppola? You know what I think you did? My opinion, I think you were punishing the victim. Why else would you do such a thing? And why do you have like a non-disclosure agreement in your little production contracts? The fact that that was in there makes me kind of think maybe like you knew Victor was like this. That's what kind of freaks me out a little bit, is why is something like that included in a contract when it comes to a child? And you were shameless, Coppola, shameless, to the point where even years later, you legit produced Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2? Wow. Look at how Victor Salva was able to skate on through Hollywood. Coppola, so sad.
A treatment facility in Napa.
Oh,
and
what a retreat. How lovely.
Napa.
Right. Yeah, he did 15 months.
So, I'm sorry.
We had movie deals waiting for him.
I'm sorry, too.
Like it was like, warm reception when he got out of his treatment, and was right back to work, shortly thereafter.
All right, so Francis Ford Coppola stepped in to not only help him, but then he sued you.
Yes.
Yes. It was
slime bag. Are you kidding me?
What a slime bag.
This notable, legendary Hollywood director stepped in to not only throw sand in your face, but to help someone that had been arrested on unspeakable charges.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Freaking believable.
Once the film was, because I still had to go and do all the overdubs. So after he was arrested, so I still had a month's worth of work at Coppola's house every single day for 8 or 9 hours every day for a month. Which time I was like blackballed, told I'd never work in the industry again, and
sure,
of course,
like all sorts of stuff, and yeah, it was incredible.
It's honestly despicable what Coppola did. And let's not forget, it ain't just Coppola. It's Disney, too. A couple years later, 3 years later, not even, Disney is hiring him for Powder. One really important thing to note, and this was so incredible, when the movie Powder was backed by Disney, This brave survivor went in front of the movie release and protested it with just him and a few friends. And I just want to show this image. This is the victim. His name is Nathan Winters. And if you see here, he has a pretty sick, amazing, protest sign. This was the short film that he was ABUSED by Victor Salva on. Something in the Basement, written and directed by Victor Salva. Then his second film was Clownhouse, written and directed by Victor Salva. And then he made a statement here by saying my MOLEST, written and directed by Victor Salva. Disney didn't give a. He was so brave to go protest alone with just a few friends, and I did that too. And sometimes you think like, am I the only one who's like, why isn't anyone else doing this? They are. Survivors have been doing this, but no one's been paying attention, and instead suing and harassing and bullying the survivors.